everyone. This is the Free American Press with your host Alexander Horat, and today we're going to talk about something that hits really close to home here in the United States, and that is possible war with Venezuela. So I'm just going to share an article with you because this basically sums something up really well. Russia vows to fully act as U.S. sends warships to Venezuela, sparking World War III fears. Russia has pledged to be ready to help Venezuela as the U.S. continues to reinforce its military presence near the South American nation. So we just saw that the U.S. sent the biggest aircraft carrier in the world sent to Venezuela, and so we saw that happen. Uh, so we're really looking at how is Russia going to send help to Venezuela if the United States goes to war with it. And just for some background, the United States has been blowing up boats that have been leaving Venezuela that are supposedly holding illegal substances, narco things, drugs, and stuff like that. So the United States has been blowing up these boats and has been moving some of its most powerful Navy equipment ships in the region. So now, actually, England and Colombia have both declared that they're no longer going to share intelligence with the United States because they think going to war with Venezuela would be bad. So Colombia is actually ruled by a Marxist, kind of like Venezuela is right now. So I think Colombia would be an ally with Venezuela. But I think if the U.S. went to war with Venezuela, I doubt Colombia would help because I doubt Colombia would want to get in a war with the United States. So basically, the United States in the past has declared that Nicolas Maduro's regime is not true. They said Juan Guaido was president. They say Maria Machado's president. Basically, they're saying that, and they have actually put, I believe, a $50 million bounty on the president of Venezuela's head for his narco trafficking. So we see that happening. And basically, right now, things are getting heated with Venezuela and the United States, with them sending these warships over there and blowing up those boats. So, really, I think the only way that Russia could really help Venezuela in stopping the United States from attacking Venezuela would be to send nuclear weapons to Venezuela, kind of like how, we were going to invade Cuba, but then the Soviet Union put nuclear weapons in Cuba. So then the United States decided not to invade Cuba, basically. So now we could see another threat of that happening with the Russians putting nuclear weapons in Venezuela. So that would cause some chaos there, and then the United States most likely would not attack if they had nuclear weapons in Venezuela. But if they did that, then the United States might give nuclear weapons to Ukraine or put nuclear weapons in Ukraine to stop the Russian advance. So I don't know if Putin would do that. I kind of see that if the United States goes to war with Venezuela, I think the Russians would ramp up their assault on Ukraine while the United States is busy with Venezuela. So we could definitely see that happen. But I don't think there's really much Russia can do if the U.S. started war with Venezuela right now, because Russia's in the other side of the world. Is very far away. Sure, they can send weapons and military aid, kind of like the United States has been sending through their proxy, which we could definitely see happen. The Russians sending military aid to Venezuela, and that could be helpful. But do the people really have the wanting to stop the United States from expelling Nicolas Maduro? And I don't know if the United States attacks Venezuela, would the military just collapse and not do anything, or would a large part of it collapse? But basically, in Venezuela, the humanitarian toll is catastrophic. Over 30% of the Venezuelan population has been forcibly displaced. So basically, starvation has been weaponized as a tool of social control, accounting to amounting to war crime under international law. So basically, we've seen that Venezuela basically starved, and many of its people have been moving to Colombia and to the United States. So we've been seeing that, and that's the Iranians and the Chinese are really in bed in Venezuela, getting the oil from Venezuela on the cheap. The Chinese have been giving massive. bailouts, bailing out Venezuela, sending billions of dollars in loans. So basically, they're getting repaid in oil from those loans. So there's a lot of countries that are against the United States vested in Venezuela right now. So if we see a war, this could erupt into a global conflict because the United States invades Venezuela, or it might be like how the United States invaded Iraq, and there's little international outcry, and and basically you're just toppling the regime and putting a new person on the head of the Venezuelan presidency, such as Maria Machado. And we just saw Maria Machado, who's the head of the Venezuelan resistance, basically just get the Nobel Peace Prize. So I think there's some, um, basically, I think they're preparing her to become the leader of Venezuela when the United States attacks. So I don't know if the United States is going to attack Venezuela for sure, but it does seem very odd that they're sending so many warships to the region and getting ready to blow up so many boats. There's been some speculation that the United States could start doing military strikes into Venezuela itself, and then full-blown war could escalate. Uh, but just right now, I think the Venezuelan government is run very badly. Like I said earlier, a third of the Venezuelans have been displaced because of the dictatorship in Venezuela. Uh, Basically, the country's in ruins. They've really deindustrialized the country. Really, the only thing Venezuela has going for it right now is its oil and its other national resources such as gold and other minerals. But would I think U.S. change in government for Venezuela would be good? In a way, I would think it'd be anything would be better than what they have right now, but that would also be another costly war the United States would have to wage, well, much closer to home than to the Middle East. But nevertheless, it still would be a war, and I don't know. I would think that would be good to have the topples of the regime, but is the United States gonna just put somebody who's even worse or is not good for Venezuela as well? And I don't know, but unfortunately, the people of Venezuela have no voice because it's a dictatorship and they have to listen to what the military says. And I think that's a shame. So we'll see what happens in Venezuela. We'll see how the Russians react, the Chinese and the Iranians, and see if there is a prolonged struggle in Venezuela if war does break out. And if war breaks out, I'll try to do a live stream, basically giving you real-time news. So that would be good. And I'd just like to thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please comment. Please share this video with your friends. And all we can hope for is a free and prosperous Venezuela. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good day.